you want to talk about workforce development, we have to talk about childcare. I don't think my wife and I could have both worked and built a career without affordable quality childcare. I think I couldn't have hired the employees that I hired that grew the business with me if they didn't have childcare options that were affordable and close to home. How are we going to develop a workforce? How are people going to build careers and help build businesses if they don't have a place to put their kids when they're at work? I was talking to one of my voters here in the district who had started a nutrition store. And one of her employees has to drive across the county in order to find an affordable daycare option. Think about that. Most of southwest Wisconsin is in what we call a childcare desert. That means that childcare options are either non-existent, unaffordable for the typical family, or too far away. All of Richland County and all of Lafayette County are considered childcare deserts. Think about what that does to our small towns. It makes a big difference whether the place that you're living has a place that can watch your kids while you're working. And think about all those small businesses on Main Street. If their employees don't have a place to put their kids, those folks, their capacity there to work, it's not there. But most importantly, think about what that does to kids. When we have kids that are in childcare, we see earlier interventions for learning disabilities. We see kids do better in school when they start learning earlier in their lives. And if we want to talk about growing the next generation of farmers and builders and nurses and police officers here in small town Wisconsin, then we've got to talk about building out our capacity for childcare. And we also have to think about what we're paying childcare professionals. For the average person working in childcare, the average wage is $10 an hour, just a little more than $10 an hour. It's a pretty important job, and I think it's worth more than $10 an hour. If we want to encourage folks to start childcare here, we need to be willing to pay them a living wage. If we take care of our childcare workers, they'll take care of our kids. So how are we going to bring affordable, reliable childcare options close to home out here in southwest Wisconsin and to small towns everywhere in Wisconsin? Well, there's a couple things we can do. We need to lower the opportunity cost for people to start daycares in small towns. And that means streamlining the application process, the regulations that are associated with childcare operations. And the state can do its part by providing loans, economic development loans, and other funding sources. The other thing that we can do is encourage and lower the opportunity costs for people to get into childcare, to become childcare professionals. We can make it pay for large employers to provide childcare options to their workers and the surrounding community. So I think we can find the right mix of private-public partnerships to get daycare operations started in small towns and rural communities throughout Wisconsin.